You've been sold a story that you're chained to your desk until 67, when the state pension finally sets you free. But a quiet group of Brits aren't waiting. They're walking away at 55, a full 12 years early. They're not lottery winners. They're not on six-figure salaries. They simply understand something the rest of us were never taught. They call themselves wealth architects, and they've cracked a structure I want to show you today, the three-tier bridge. Here's the uncomfortable truth nobody mentions. Your health in your late 50s is not guaranteed. It is a finite, fading asset. Economists obsess over your pension pot. They forget the other account that's quietly draining, your remaining active years. Waiting until 67 to finally start living isn't safe. It's a gamble, and the stake is the best years you have left. So, the wealth architects flip the equation. They spend their energy while they still have it, and engineer the income to match. But there's a problem. Your private pension is locked away. Right now, you can't touch a SIPP until 55. And from 2028, that minimum age rises to 57. The state pension is even further away, at 67. So, how do you fund a decade of freedom before any of those doors open? You build a bridge across the gap. Tier 1 is the foundation of your early escape. It is the most important tool you own, the ISA. Every year, you can shelter up to £20,000 inside a stocks and shares ISA, completely away from the taxman. Inside that glass dome, your money grows. No tax on the growth, no tax on the dividends, nothing owed to HMRC. But the real magic happens when you take it out. Withdrawals from an ISA are completely, beautifully, 100% tax-free. This is your bridge for the first 5 to 10 years, the stretch before any pension can legally be touched. You live off your ISA, and on paper, to the tax office, you appear to earn almost nothing at all. Your taxable footprint stays invisible. No income tax, no national insurance. The HMRC storm cloud simply has nothing to rain on. That's the power of Tier 1. It buys you time. And time is the one thing the early retiree needs most. But an ISA bridge can only stretch so far. Eventually you reach the middle, and that's where Tier 2 takes over. Your SIPP, your self-invested personal pension, is the engine of the plan. And here, the rules hand you something extraordinary. Once you reach pension age, you can take 25% of the entire pot completely free of tax. On a pension worth £400,000, that's £100,000 of clean cash, with zero owed to HMRC. The architects don't waste it. They use that lump sum with surgical purpose, and the first target is almost always the same: the mortgage. Clear it, and your single biggest monthly cost vanishes overnight, slashing the income you need to survive. Suddenly your bridge needs to carry far less weight. A paid-off home is the secret weapon of every quiet retiree. The rest of that tax-free cash bridges the final years, carrying you from the end of your ISA to the state pension. But here lives an invisible villain, a limit most people never see coming until it's far too late. Your tax-free cash is not unlimited. Across all your pensions combined, the lifetime limit is fixed firmly in stone. That number is £268,275. Take more, and the taxman wants his share. It sounds enormous, but for diligent savers with large pots, it's a ceiling they hit faster than they ever expected. Knowing that cap exists is what separates the architect from the amateur. You plan around the villain before he arrives. And while you're building, remember you can pour up to £60,000 a year into your pension, growing it tax-relieved. Tier 1 buys time, Tier 2 clears the path, and then, right at the end, Tier 3 arrives. The state pension is your safety net, the solid ground waiting on the far side of the bridge at 67. It isn't glamorous, but it is guaranteed for life, rising each year, and it underpins everything else you've built. Right now, the full new state pension is worth almost £12,000 a year, paid straight into your account. But it is not automatic. To unlock the full amount, you need 35 qualifying years of national insurance on your record. Miss a few, and your payment shrinks. So the architects check their record early and plug any gaps while they still can. Once it lands, the state pension takes over the heavy lifting, and your private pots can finally relax. That's the whole structure. ISA, then SIPP, then state pension. 3 tiers, perfectly timed, each catching you as the last runs out. Now watch what this structure does to your tax bill, because this is where the quiet genius really lives. Because so much of your income flows from tax-free sources, your taxable income on paper stays remarkably, deliberately low. And low taxable income triggers a beautiful chain reaction a success loop that quietly compounds in your favor. First, you preserve your personal allowance, the first £12,570 you can earn with no tax. Second, because you're no longer drawing a salary, you pay zero national insurance on the income you live on. Low taxable income, full personal allowance, zero national insurance. The loop feeds itself, and the result is simple: lifestyle freedom. You keep more of every single pound, not by cheating the system, but by understanding exactly how it was built. And somewhere in this process, something deeper changes. Not just your bank balance, but the way you see yourself. For decades, you lived as someone paycheck dependent, trading your finite hours for money, waiting for permission to finally stop. The bridge ends that. You become a strategic capital protector, a person whose money now works the hours so you don't. Your job is no longer to earn, it's to protect, position, and deploy the capital you've spent a lifetime gathering. That shift, from earner to architect, is the real retirement. The money is just the proof that it happened. So here's the lesson hiding underneath all of this, the single idea I want you to carry away today. Retirement in Britain is no longer a destination you arrive at. It has quietly become a gap you must fund. There is a chasm between the day you stop working and the day the state finally starts paying you. No one is going to build that crossing for you. The bridge is yours to design, plank by plank. Tier 1 to buy time, Tier 2 to clear the path, Tier 3 to land you safely on the other side. The people quietly retiring at 55 aren't lucky, and they aren't rich. They simply started building before they needed to cross. So start drawing your bridge today, because the gap is coming for all of us. The only question is whether you're ready. If you learned something from this video, like and hit subscribe. See you in our next videos.